Thank you, Piotr. You are too nice to me. I'm much more horrible than you say. I'm very pleased to be in Lublin. I've been in many places in Poland, from Zakopane to Gdansk and from Poznan to I don't know where. But I've never been in Lublin, so there was a big hole in my culture. And now this hole is repaired. We will surely collaborate more with Lublin and its brilliant citizens. So, Jean-Pierre Deru, I'm Belgian. I don't know if my country still exists. We will see. Actually, we are doing not too badly without the government, so maybe it could be a pattern for the future. I am at the same time working in a university in Louvain, in Belgium, especially training black Africans for cultural development. And I'm also director of this small cultural foundation. As he was saying, for cultural democracy, so we believe in cultural democracy. We believe that not only culture should be an elitist process, but should be shared by citizens. And we really think that it's not only a capacity the citizens should have to go to culture, but also they should be able to produce culture. So we really believe that this logic is very crucial. I am extremely much against capitalism culture. I am extremely against this consumption culture, which unfortunately is going all over the place, especially on TV, but also in many other places. So we think really that the passion for culture, in fact, passion to create art and culture, is really the main thing behind it. And we must train people who will be able to manage this real core project of art and culture. So, my main thing is that I've got twins. That's the most important thing in my life. For the rest, I really believe in my job, and I really believe that it's crucial to make new kind of training for cultural managers. I think we cannot anymore, on one side, to make these ex-cultural administrators like they were in the communist period, which were supposed to spend the public money. And also, on the other side, not very much for a system where we are taking on board the system of business management. So I think we must invent a new way to train cultural managers, and that's what we are trying to do, for instance, in our training programs like the European Diploma in Cultural Project Management, that we'll be talking after at the end of this talk. So what do we do in the Fondation ICTER first, and then we will go to EU, and then we will go to cultural cooperation and skills and competencies. In the Fondation ICTER, we do first training. So the European Diploma, we'll talk about it later. We do lots of training in Belgium, in Europe, and in Africa. It's always training for people who are adults, who are operators, and who really believe in what they do. They have a really strong project, and our speciality is to train in cultural cooperation, which is not at all something obvious, not at all something easy. It is a very complex process. So that's something we will go after when we'll talk about skills and competencies. Training is the main thing we do, and we do it very often in partnership with organizations from different countries. We also do some big project mainly funded by the European Union, and I will come to this European Union process because it's key to understand what it means cultural cooperation when you try to do it within the frame of the European Union, because it's probably the most complex process that exists. And so if you understand that, you can do any kind of cultural cooperation. We did a few programs, projects. For instance, we've been doing one with France, England, and Belgium about creating a platform of cooperation with operators of these three countries and regions. And the idea was that we could foster the collaboration and foster the interaction between operators from these three countries to make a kind of permanent platform, interactive platform between the operators and the public bodies of the three countries. We also did a few projects within the Leonardo da Vinci program. I suppose you know that, which is more about training, universities, and all around the world, the life training. One of them is called Ithaca. And this Ithaca program we did was to follow 5 artists for 3 years. And 5, not any kind of artists, very sharp artists, but artists that were really fascinating and working in political, not in the sense of political parties, but in policy, like from the Greek polis, in the interaction with communities of the arts and communities. So we've been doing that for 3 years, trying to understand how these artists could be working with these communities of different countries. That was quite a fascinating subject. We are doing also interactive training with schools in Brussels. So we put together artists in primary and beginning of secondary schools for the schools, the classes, to have their own project and to be supported by groups of artists or cultural operators. So that's only a few examples, but it shows you that we always go to that direction first, to enable the majority of the citizens to be able to be active in art and also to be able to cooperate. So you can interrupt me when you want, it's no problem. And anyhow, I think I will talk for maximum 1 hour, and then after we'll have a debate, discussion for half an hour. So don't be shy, don't hesitate to cut me if you disagree. If you have tomatoes, you can throw them at me, but it's not necessary. You can also ask questions. Okay, so now about this cultural cooperation. Why the European Union is so crucial on that respect? First, as you can feel, the world is changing a lot. In something like 15, 20 years, the whole system changed. The world became smaller and smaller. There are more and more flights all over the world. You can travel anywhere very quickly, very often cheaply. I'm not that sure that it is really something excellent for the world. I'm not sure that for the sustainability of the world this is the best solution, but still, it exists. We have to know what we will do about it. Also, with this internet system, it's going faster and faster, so we can communicate now with New Delhi, or with Tokyo, or with New York without any problem. So, the world is getting smaller and smaller. On top of that, the huge change that happened this last year is that the world is even getting smaller in terms of trade. With the trade agreements, now you can have products from everywhere. In my supermarket, we can have green peas coming from Kenya. We can have shrimps coming from Ecuador. This is a new divide of work for the whole world. It means huge things. Huge things not only for the most developed countries, but even countries like this. Because not so far away, there was decentralization of production from Western Europe, for instance, or the United States or Japan, to countries which were ex-communist countries and could have lower salaries, and so you could put car factories or textile factories here.